Alright boys and girls, welcome back. If you've seen some of my trigger reviews, I've done a lot of in-depth analysis on probably 25 different most popular triggers in the market, from Timneys to Elftmanns to Geisleys to you name it. I'm going to put a card right up here on the screen where you can go check out my playlist, and I do a lot of side-by-side comparisons where in those videos I compare 3, 4, sometimes even 5 triggers at a time to each other. I show you a lot of details about those triggers, so go check that out. One of the triggers that always rose to the top in those, and again, you can go watch those videos and you can confirm for yourself, was the Elftmann line of triggers, okay? So this is a prior version of the Elftmann. It's a drop-in cassette style trigger. This particular one is the Pro Lock, so you can see that the pin channels right there are actually threaded, and what that allows you to do is they come with their own set screws, so you don't need to buy anti-walk, anti-rotation kits or anything like that. They come with a little bag of their own screws, and it screws directly into the side of the cassette. I have been running these triggers for years, all right? There's one in the Jackal back there. If you recently saw my review, that's the new Jackal 9. Again, I'll put a card right up here on the screen if you want to go check that out. They are fantastic triggers. They've recently released a new line that they're calling the Apex. And it has a lot of the same features as the old one, for example, that you can direct thread into the pin channels there and everything. But it has something new that the previous ones did not. It solves a problem where, especially for competitive shooters, I don't feel like I can shoot fast enough to do this, but for competitive shooters, when they're really running that gun, a lot of times that hammer may follow the bolt home and get them a light strike. A lot of times it may double fire or it may skip fire, and it's because of some of the geometry of the disconnector that you see right here. And sometimes if you don't have that trigger absolutely pinned back, then it won't hook completely and it'll let go and double fire. You'll notice there's some different geometry going on inside the Apex here. Let me get a different camera angle here, get you a little close up, and we'll go through the differences. Okay, here we go. So on the left side is the new Apex trigger. On the right side is one of their previous triggers. And I actually had to pull this out for comparison. You can see it's got a lot of scuff on it here. So you'll notice the disconnector on this one here. All right, so it captures the back of that hook on the hammer when the gun is fired, and that trigger is still retained to the rear. All right, and when you let go, the sear takes over, and the sear is buried down in there. In fact, let me go ahead and just fire this all the way home. You can see the connector right there, and the sear is way back inside there. All right, so when this thing is fully locked, that sear has now connected down there. When the disconnector lets go, the sear takes over and it's ready again. Now on the Apex trigger, the disconnector is the one that you see right here in the front, and here is your sear on the back. And you'll notice that they're separated by this little spring in here. The two of them do actually squeeze together because the distance between here and here is greater than the distance between here and here. All right, so what happens is you fire, the bolt rides back, pushes the hammer down. These two, the disconnector and the sear, compress together to allow it to squeeze inside this space here. Now, if the hammer is still depressed to the rear, you can see the disconnector caught it in the front right there. Now again, now these two separated again, and they are wider than the gap. So as soon as I let go of the trigger, the sear catches it in the back. You guys see that? And this is actually adjustable also. So depending on how much and how light you want this engagement to be here, there is a set screw right down here. You guys, I know it's kind of dark down in there. There you go. See that set screw right there? That set screw allows you to adjust how much of this captures right here. So on this older style, it is not adjustable. You can see I'm pushing up on the trigger bar right here, and I have the disconnector holding it. If you did not have this trigger pressed to the rear adequately enough, it would actually let go, and this could ride home and cause light strikes. It could also double fire or go into full auto, okay? With this new design, it is technically impossible for that to happen because one of these two is always going to catch. Now, it does come in both your curved face here as well as your straight face in the skeletonized, and then they also have those that have the little adjustable piece on there. I'll roll in a picture of it here. I'm more of a traditionalist. I love these old skeletonized triggers from Elftmann. And like all of these recent triggers from Elftmann, you do also have the option for the ones with the adjustable pull weight with this little piece right here. Now here's one difference that I did notice on the new one versus old ones. The two screws, the two little bolts that you see right here are actually from my old set when I removed this one, okay? The reason why is the new screws that came with the new one are longer. Now I'm not going to pull these out and show you, but they're about, I would say, maybe 3/16 of an inch longer than these. Now when you install them with the provided lock ring and washer, it's not a problem because those take up the distance and allows those two springs that are coming from either side to actually not meet in the middle and not hit each other, okay? This particular receiver, I can't get those washers in this position here, all right? Just because of how this is all cut. So I had to go and use the old ones. Luckily, the thread pattern, everything's still the same, but just kind of be cautioned there. This is how they intend you to install it. I did not do that. I just went ahead and put a little bit of blue Loctite on them and ran them without the washers. And I don't remember this from previous sets, okay? I could be wrong, but I believe these are new also. So you'll notice these are not threaded on the inside. You guys see that? So if I set those aside, you can see here, these are threaded, which again allows for these little bolts to come right down in from the outside. If you did not want to run these, okay, with this setup here, you can replace these little tubes here with these that are smooth on the inside, and then you can run traditional hammer pins, trigger pin, and you can actually have an anti-rotation bar on the outside, whatever you want to do. So again, nice little option there. So this is the Apex, this is the older Pro-Lock model. Another slight change, but worth noting, is you can see that the texture is a little bit different on the two. So this one's a little bit less aggressive than the prior one. So I've had the flat-faced version in this rifle for probably 4 months now. I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm not a competitive shooter. I've never had problems with light fires, skip fires, any of that stuff. But I also don't shoot that fast and aggressively, or maybe I'm just not fast enough to do that. But I do know it's a real thing. A lot of these competitive shooters have had that problem with other trigger sets in the past, so this solves it. And now what you've all come here and been waiting for, the giveaway. All right, the giveaway is going to be available in the US only, okay? We're not going to deal with customs forms and the shipping logistics of shipping all over the world. We got to keep it as simple as possible. To enter in this giveaway, all I need you to do is go to one of Elf Tactical's social media outlets. I'm going to post links to them in the description down below, and then come back to the YouTube comments. If you're watching this on Facebook, you have to do this in the YouTube comments. Come to the YouTube comments, post a comment, and tell me where you follow Elftmann. All right, that's it. Entries start right now as soon as this video is published, and I'm going to draw the winner on September 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern time. After I draw the winner, that person will be able to pick any of the new Apex triggers. So if you want the curved bow, the flat bow, if you want one with one of those adjustable separate bow pieces. I never really got into those. I find it hard to love those, but some people do. But if you don't want to wait and you want to just go ahead and grab one of these, or if you're watching this video after the giveaway, I'm going to put a link in the description below also to their website or to some popular websites where you can get one for yourself. And depending on when you're watching this video, there may even be a coupon code down there. It just depends on how quickly these get on some of my affiliate partner websites. That's it. Good luck, everyone. That is the new Apex trigger. If you like this video, do me a favor, give it a like, consider subscribing. I do a lot of giveaways on this channel. I give away everything from flashlights to plate carriers to triggers, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, there's also a link in the description below to my newsletter. I do not spam you. I just let you know when giveaways go live. So jump in that newsletter. And as always, I appreciate your time watching. Lots more great content to come, and I'll see you in the next one.